In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to charge and how to collect it to maximize revenue from each client, how to plant the renewal seeds months before you ask, the 3 windows where clients say yes to give you more money almost every time, the full renewal call script line by line, and how to ask for referrals so people send them. Let's get into it. So first, let's look at an average online fitness coach, how much you are pulling in from every single client. So let's say you have 10 new clients every single month at $2,000, very realistic. The renewal rate is just 10%, which means 10% of people that finish the program renew for another period with you. This is what it looks like, as you can see, on an annual basis. So 264K. Now, if you're doing okay, you're gonna make almost double that. As you can see, you're going to make $3,800 per client. So now on an annual basis, which is how you should be looking, you shouldn't be looking at like, okay, I made 20K this month. Like, nobody cares. What did you make last year? And as you can see, if you plug in these leaks, and I'm going to show you exactly how, you're going to be able to essentially double your revenue on an annual basis. Okay, and this is if you're doing okay, which means 40% of people that are in your program renew for another package, 10% of people upsell for a yearly package. I'll show you exactly how to do that. And on average, 1 out of 3 clients send you a referral. So again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. If you're really dialed in, as you can see, 720 grand versus 264. Now, first things first, let's end the debate on should you charge monthly recurring or should you charge pay in fulls. Always charge pay in fulls. You just need some emotional control to not spend all the money that you get up front, okay? But in the long run, it is so much more worth it because you get clients that are more committed to the process. You collect more money up front, which means especially if you're running ads, you can be a lot more profitable. And lastly, it's so much easier to upsell people for another program or renew them for another long period. Like worst case, if they don't want to renew, you can downsell them to the monthly. On a sales call, if they cannot afford the higher package, you can downsell them to the monthly, yes. But if you don't have the higher ticket packages, you don't even give them a chance to buy the higher ticket package, and they probably would be able to afford it. Now, secret sauce with charging high ticket and packages over $2,000, $3,000, people can do that. If you think they can't, that's a limiting belief. They can do that, especially if you offer financing at checkout. So if you use Stripe, Klarna, Affirm, if you use WOP, I would recommend Split It. Split It is probably the best one because you can actually get the percentage that the financing provider will charge you, about 8 to 10%, sometimes a bit more. It will actually return that to you. But you collect, let's say 3, 4, 5K upfront, and the person on the call on the other side of the phone when they're buying from you will be able to break it up into 6 to 12 installments. But you collect upfront. So therefore you need to sign like 3, 4 clients to make 10K that month, right? Depending obviously on that pricing, and then you just keep scaling it. And let's say you sign 10 clients, that's already, let's say 30 grand versus 10 clients on a monthly basis. That's what, $2,000 per month, $5,000 per month. So that's why it's so much more worth it to charge for a longer time frame upfront. Now, the biggest mistake I see with coaches is they try to pitch the renewal 1 week before the program ends. Okay, so let's say they get to the end of the program, they get on the check-in call with somebody, and it's kind of like, hey, do you want to buy another package? Like, no, I don't want to. If they would probably already tell you. They would ask you. If they haven't brought it up, that means that they're most likely not interested, and that is your fault because you don't know how to plant renewal seeds during the onboarding process. So this is what you want to do literally during the onboarding call or when you end the sales call. So basically the whole point is to make them know that you're going to pitch them at the end. They have to know it, they have to expect it. So this is how you do it. So let's say you are on the onboarding call. Great, congrats on getting started. Here's how the next 12 weeks or 16 or 6 months going to look. From there you say, you're on a 12-week program. Most of my best clients stick with me for about a year. At the 8-week mark, we will talk about what your next steps look like, because once we hit this first goal, let's say once we lose this weight, I'm sure you will want to keep building from there. I'm sure once you lose this weight, you will want to build some muscle on top of that. And then you just continue with your onboarding call. So it's not a big deal, right? Don't make a big deal out of it, but they will know that you're going to pitch them. And most coaches never do this. That's why you have such low renewal rate, because people don't expect it. You have to frame it as like, okay, what we are doing now, however long the time frame of the initial packages, this is the phase 1. And the phase 2 is that, okay? I'm sure after you finish phase 1, you will want to go to the phase 2. Right? That's how you keep them in the program forever, right? Because you can always come up with another phase, especially if they have a lot of weight to lose. For example, in the fitness context, they need more than 12 weeks. Like, of course, they're not going to lose 50, 100 pounds in 12 weeks, right? Let's be realistic. But the thing is, like, most coaches don't frame it that way. So somebody thinks that they will lose 100 pounds in 12 weeks. They don't do it because it's impossible, but they don't set that expectation. Therefore, the person leaves and they think like, okay, I didn't get results. No, it's just you have not set the expectation. That is going to be the phase 1, and then you're going to transition to the phase 2 to get them to their actual ultimate goal. Now, if you want to really maximize revenue from every single client, you want to upsell them for a yearly program when you see that they are winning early. So this is exactly how to do that. There's 3 specific windows when you can do it. First things first, you have some of those clients that for some reason they just have these crazy wins at the beginning, or for some reason they just send you these love letters in the first week, in the first 2 weeks, in the first 4 weeks, right? They just love you. They just love the program. This is who you want to pitch. So if they come out of the gate strong, offer the year at a loyalty rate. So obviously you want to give them some kind of incentive. So think about what your monthly rate would be, then stretch it for 12 months, and then give them some kind of discount. Give them like a month, 2 months, 3 months for free compared to the monthly plan. So let's say you charge 500 per month for coaching. If you would do that per year, that would be 6,000, right? So give them an incentive. So let's say do it for 5,000 instead of 6,000. So let's say they are winning, they are sending you love letters, you can just send this right away. Man, like you've been killing it in the first 4 weeks. I actually think we could do something incredible over the rest of the year. Because you just started, man, I want to offer you a loyalty rate for the rest of the year so we can guarantee we hit your big goal. Again, we can guarantee that you lose this 100 pounds. How does that sound? And they say, yeah, like what would that look like, right? What I would do, treat it like a sales call. Like literally tell them, do you have a 5 minutes now? And literally call them, right? Same like on a sales call. They might have some objections. You might have to break up the, let's say 5,000 into 2 installments. They will be more likely to sign up for that, remainder of the year, for example, or for the entire monthly rate if you do that on a phone call. Of course, it's kind of like a sales call. If somebody asks you in the DMs, how much is your coaching, and you say 3,000, they're not going to buy, right? It's the same here. So let's say they did that 12-week program for, let's say 2,000. So what you want to do next is you give them 20 to 30% of the year. So like I said, let's say it will be 6,000. So now you do 5,000. Next, you subtract what they already paid you. So let's say 2,000, right? In this case, so that'll be 3,000. So you essentially want to pitch them, hey, if you want to do this with me for the remainder of the year, it will be just an extra $3,000, right? And you get a client for the rest of the year. Quick break. If you want us to come in and install all of these systems completely done for you, check the first link in the description. There's a full explanation of the fitness profit funnel. We help you with content, ads, appointment setting, AI plus human, with all AI systems completely done for you. Back to the video. The second window is strike while they are high. So not necessarily in the first month, in the first 4 weeks, but in general, when they are winning, when they are sharing wins with you, you want to say, that's incredible, man. I love working with you. How would you feel about locking in for the rest of the year at a discounted rate? And you go through the same process, right? How much they paid you, you subtract that from the monthly rate, you get them on the phone, you pitch them that, and you sell them. And lastly, if somebody is like okay results, right, like average results, which is most people, like they get average results, that doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just an average result. You want to still pitch them at the end of their program. Like I said, usually about 2 to 4 weeks before their program ends. Don't do it later. And again, set that expectation earlier as well. So here, it might be hard to pitch them the yearly program if they haven't had any, insane results. So you want to simply renew them for a similar package. So the way you want to frame it is, again, don't frame it as a renewal call, right? Again, if you set the expectation properly, they are expecting it. So what you want to say is just, hey, how's it going? I'd love to book a quick call to review your progress and map out your next phase. So most of you guys will have some kind of check-ins once per month, once per week, maybe a couple of times during the entire package period. Just frame it as a check-in call just to see how things are going. So you get on that call, we call it the renewal call. How do you actually sell them? So first things first, we have to set the expectations. So thanks for commenting, you want to lay out the call. So review progress, where they were before, where they want to go next, how you support them from here. Next, you want to kind of get them in a positive state. So like, what was the best part about working with me? What results are you most proud of? On a scale 1 to 10, how do you feel about your fitness right now? How has your life improved besides fitness? Next, you want to dig into past pain. So as you can see, pain, goals, the bridge, right? So it's kind of like a sales call. Before you started, what was the thing you struggled with? You kind of want to bring them back to what they struggled with before they started working with you. Therefore, they will attribute the good things, the positive things to working with you. Next, you want to cast the vision. So if your body and your life were exactly where you wanted them, what would that look like? So you want to build that future, right? That brighter vision of the future. Next, you want to do the gap and urgency. So this is essentially cost of inaction. So are you ready to join? Like, what happens if you don't? You want to frame it that way. Next, you get the permission to pitch. So based on everything that you told me, I'm sure I could help you. Do you want me to explain how? Next, you give them a tailored solution. So make sure that it's not generic. Like it should be tying to what they said, to their ultimate goal before they started working with you. So again, let's say they want to lose 100 pounds. So you lost 30 pounds, right, during their initial time period with you. So obviously you want to tie it back to the actual goal of losing 100 pounds here. So they want to, see that future and see that the only way they can get there is if they renew for the program again. So for your nutrition, we do this. You know, for your training, we need to do this. Then from there, you get them to sell it back to you. So you say, like, out of those things that I mentioned, which means like, we will do this for your nutrition, we will do this for your training, right? Out of those things that I mentioned, which one do you feel is the most important for us to focus on right now? And then after that, you pretty much drop the price, right? So you can give them some kind of incentive. So normally the program is 500 per month. Because you're a preferred client, your rate is 350. My rates are going up soon, but if you log in today, I'll keep your rate the same for as long as you stay with me. So you can either do this, or let's say they signed up for that 12-week program for 2,000. So you want to say, okay, I actually increased the prices. So right now it's 2.5K for 12 weeks, but you know, we've been working together, you've been crushing it. So I would hate for you to have to pay more, because you know that would be kind of unfair. So what I thought is we could just lock in this price, so we could do that 12 weeks for 2,000. How does that sound? So you kind of give them that fake incentive, which makes them more likely to, you know, actually take action. And then from there, you just capture the payment. That's it. Now, another way to make more money from every single client is having a good referral system. Most people just wait for referrals. That's why they are not predictable. So you can kind of mix it up with the renewal and referrals. So if they are emotionally high, they believe in you, they want to share the feeling, right? They are, again, sending you these love letters. So in short, you usually do want to give them some kind of incentive. You know, people are selfish, so you want to give them an incentive to send you that referral. Now, there's two types of people. So you can have a person that is like getting okay results in your program. They are just a client. You can have the second type of person who's basically your friend, right? They are your client, but they're kind of your friend, you know? So if they are your friend, you might get away without giving them any incentive, you know. But if they are just a client, you definitely do want to give them an incentive. So usually I would give them 4 weeks for free in their program. You can either pay them cash or give them 4 weeks for free. So 4 weeks for free is actually free, right, for you. You don't need to get out of pocket, you just need to fulfill the service for the next 4 weeks. So you want to send a voice note. Hey name, so I love working with you and I would love to work with more clients like you. So if you have any friends, family members or coworkers that would like to join the program, if they join my program, I'll give you 4 weeks for free in your program. If you're interested in referring any of your friends and family, all you gotta do is start a group chat with me on Facebook or Instagram with that person, and I will get them all set up. So this is again the version if you just have a client. If you have a friend, you can say, hey, first name, I love working with you, man. Do you have any friends or family that would also benefit from something like this? So like I said, this should be a voice note. And if you hear my tonality, I'm making it kind of like I'm coming up with my words, you know, like it shouldn't sound scripted. It should sound like, you know, do you have any friends or you know, family that would also benefit from something like this? It has to sound organic and unscripted. Implement all of this stuff. As you can see, it's not hard. It sounds simple. Simple scales, fancy fails. I love that saying. You will go from the treadmill coach who makes 264 per year to doing okay or even being dialed in. You can literally double your revenue. Take my advice, double your revenue. So that's it for this video. This is exactly what the biggest, most successful coaches do. And this is exactly how they are able to scale profitably, even with a lot of overhead and a lot of team members. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video for more. Again, if you're interested in getting help with scaling your business pretty much for you, automating your content, ads, DM setting, and pretty much placing a full team done for you, check the first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.